This is history. The chief rabbinate of Africa presents the Siddur Sambatayim. The Siddur, neither Sephardic nor Ashkenazi but Afriki. Reconnect with the pure ancestral traditions of your Bantu Israelite ancestors, with a new sack of tefillah that perfectly combines the halakhot of the Mishnah and the minhagim of the Mekabalim, with the new sack of Friki. Live the Black Man Torah, with the first Siddur published and printed in Africa. To grab your Siddur, only one address: Beth Nessa, Bantu Israel Synagogue, Lagos, 27 Canal View Drive, Agokota off Ago Palace Way, Lagos, Nigeria. Mobile number, +2348035382223. Only 35,000 naira, delivery included.
Shalom, shalom, and Shavua Tov to all of you. Shavua Tov to Chief Rabbi Kish. Shavua Tov to Chief Rabbi Mordechai Yosef. Shavua Tov.
Shabbat Tov Rabbeinu. Shabbat Tov Rabbeinu.
Shavua Tov to Shavua Tov Rabbi Eliyahu Shibidia. Shalom, shalom to all of you.
Shalom, shalom, Rabbeinu. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Hope the week is starting the best way. Bezrat Hashem. We will continue today to catch up the previous parashot. We will be focused on Parashat REEH, and the purpose of our last limudim is to go through the main questions that comes with the Bantu Israelite population, with the African Jews population, with the Afro-American Jews population, with the Hebrew Israelite population. All this terminology, no matter how they have been structured, they connect Torah and the continent of Africa, or the story of the Afro descent in the continent of America, Northern or Southern America. So the purpose is to rise up answers, to rise up explanations from the corner of what this population is facing for a long time, but also when this population is reconnecting to the Torah. So that's why people are asking me for different type of limud. Yes, I can teach, like I say, but Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of rabbis, a lot of Bati Knesiot, a lot of Bati Midrashim, where you can have plenty of Torah, but we don't have a specificity for that corner of Judaism, which is so important, because we know, according to the Talmud Sanhedrin, that the 10 tribes arrived to that continent. So we have a whole tradition, a whole meaningful explanation and understanding to spread out in order to help the Jewish people to have different answers in front of the challenges that the people are facing. So shalom to everybody on Facebook and YouTube. Like usual, we're gonna introduce the topic of today, connected to the Parashat REEH, by the editora, one editor, to introduce the main question answers that we're going to try to understand or to explain during the limud. So let's start with one second. Shalom, shalom to Chief Rabbi El Natan El Hanan. Shalom, shalom. So, B'ezrat Hashem, we will start now with the Edi Torah. Edi Torah, Parashat REEH. We can admit, we can say, we can confirm that daily life is not so easy for the major people living in the continent of Africa. Daily life is not so easy for the major part of the Afro-Americans. And same thing in South America. Daily life, it's not so easy. The main question is to know how the absence of solemnities makes time extremely difficult for the Bantu Israelite. We have to remember that the fight is not only happening on the battlefield. The fight happens also in the academic area. The fight happened also in the historical area. When I talk about fight, I talk about the fact of bringing up and putting up the truth of the Torah versus the one who don't want to see this situation happen, or the one who use that situation for the wrong purposes. And in the battlefield of Historia, we know that the calendar is making a huge impact. The way you will structure your society, the way you will structure your community, the way you will choose your calendar to be counted based on the moon, based on the sun, based on both, means a lot when you have the choice. But sometimes the choice is not even given to you. You have to connect to the main history. So let's see how the coming back of the solemnities among the Bantu Israelite tradition, life, and daily life will be the key for better tomorrow. Let's try to understand, to see, and to question all this part. Bezrat Hashem, we will start straight and go to the introduction of the Benishchai, Parashat REEH. That introduction will lead us to have answers to the different questions and topic we brought up. So just wait a few seconds that the screen will be shared. Shalom, shalom to Rabbi Bada Aboriginal Corporation. Shalom, shalom. So let's see how the topic will be managed by our tzaddik, the Benishchai, Posek, the great Posek. It starts like this. It said, in this Parashat REEH, we will try to understand more about the halachot connected to the blessing we call Shechianu, and also the dimension of Bar Mitzvah. So you see, many people will teach you topics around Parashat REEH to get some understanding about that text. But Ben Ishai said, behind some of the pasuk, the verse, you have a whole teaching about the secret of the blessing of Shechianu, which is a blessing we do when we are living specific moment. For example, like solemnities, except Shabbat, or solemnities, we know that you have to say the blessing on the Kiddush, and after you say Shechianu. Also, when you have to get married, you say Shechianu on your talit. Also on the new house you will receive. When you are proceeding to the Brit Milah or the Bar Mitzvah, you say Shechianu. Every time we are living a specific time which have been fixed, Shechianu have to be there. Let's see now the secret behind. The Ben Ish Chai started, said, you have to understand the pasuk first. What said the pasuk? Shivat yamim techag l'Adonai Elohecha b'makom asher yivchar. So 7 days you will celebrate your God in the place He will choose for you. Asher yivchar, Hashem ki, that He will choose, not anyone. Ki yivarecha Hashem Elohecha b'chol te'evuatecha. Because Akadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem will bless you in all your incomes. All your incomes and all the works of your hands. Bechol ma'aseh all your incomes and all the work of your hands. And at the end, ve'aita ach sameach. And at the end, he said, when this free part will be handled, you shall be altogether joyful. Meaning, it will be your joys, meaning your joys will be fulfilled, will be realistic when Hashem will have blessed you in your incomes, in the works of your hands, and after that, you will be totally free to abandon yourself to the joys. So you have to keep the solemnities that will help Hashem to bless you in your incomes and after in the works of your hands. So let's see what the Ben Ish Chai is saying. He said, והנה, אנחנו רואים נחית קראה להיזהר אותנו במועדים, במצוות השמחה ובפחתות. So he said, look, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Torah wants us to be aware and to be careful about one halacha, one mitzvah of being happy during the festival, of being happy during the days of festival. And he said, מפני שיש בני אדם אשר ימי המועדים יהיו להם עיצבון, הן מחמת ביטול העם מממלכת ועסקיהם 7 ימים שלמים רצופים. He said, because you will find people very uncomfortable during the Chagim, the festival, because they will have worry about the work. They closed their store, they stopped working 7 days. Or other type of people, והן מחמת ריבוי ההוצאה שיהיה להם עתה יותר מאשר הימים. Or some people will be worrying. They say, okay, I closed my store 7 days. Wow. I can even not imagine what type of work I will have to handle after that week of celebration. ולכך הוצחר הכתוב להיות מצווה על שמחה בימים אלו בפחתות. So that's why the Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, sense that it's important to remind us the fact of being happy, especially on that days. I'll read a bit before we start to open up. ואמר הגאון דודאי, שיבת ימים תחג לאדוני אלוהיך במקום אשר יבחר, שתקיים מצוות החג כהלכתו, הן בביטול הישג ומלאכה, הן בהוצאה של אכילה ושתייה ומלבוש, ויען כי יברך אדוני אלוהיך בכל תבואתך, בכל מעשה ידיך. He said, this rabbi said, no, you have also to add that you really have to be focused on the time of the Chagim. When we talk about the Chagim, for sure we have Pesach from the 15th of Nisan and 7 days till 7 days after. We have also Sukkot, which is also 7 days. So I said, we know that 7 days, it's a long time, but you have also to celebrate the days by being totally invested. How? First of all, in the food, the drinking, and the dress. You have to know that this, to celebrate something, it passes also through the fact of being prepared for that in the ochel, shtia, drinking, eating, and levushim, and dressing. And he said also you have to go to be very precise about the happiness to have during that days, and to do all these things according to the laws, to the halacha, and also to stop any type of work and any type of melacha, not to transgress melacha. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Israel Pondol. Shalom, shalom. So now let's start a bit to understand. We have one mitzvah here talking about solemnities. But before I start to explain, let's see the first Rashi of the Torah. The first Rashi of the Torah, like you can see, it's here. It's all about the first parasha, the first pasuk of Bereshit. Let me make it bigger. Like you can see, Rashi is saying on the pasuk Bereshit bar Elohim, et Hashem et haaretz. Rashi said like this. The Torah, which is the law book of Israel. So Rashi is talking, right? So the Torah, who is the law book of Israel, should have commenced with the verse of Shemot 12, pasuk bet. What does this verse say? This month shall be unto you the first of the month, which is the first commandment given to Israel. What is the reason then that is commenced with the account of the creation? I will just stop here. You can read all the Rashi to understand why it's questioning. But for Rashi, with all his experience, all his knowledge, he said, no, the Torah should have started by this shall be unto you the first of the month. What does it mean, the first of the month? If I'm wrong, please stop me. The first of the month, it's Rosh Chodesh, right?
Yes, Abeno.
Toda Rabba. So if the first, Rashi said, if the first halacha that was given to the Bnei Israel was to recognize the beginning of the month, we understand that all the solemnities, all the cycle are based from the beginning of the month. And what is used to define the beginning of the month? It's the moon. We agree?
For sure, Abeno. That is it.
Toda Rabba. So there is no doubt, based on Rashi's talk, writings, that every single thing, when it comes about solemnities, when it comes about timing, is based on the moon cycle. Because the first commandment is about knowing and understanding when the month starts. So, the moon being so important, you understand now why the sages were said in the Mishnah. Let me show to you. In the Mishnah, as you can see, when you go to the order called Moed, holidays, that logicality is based on Rashi, what Rashi have said. Everything which is analyzed inside of the Seder Moed of the Mishnah is based on this very first halacha. Tell me when is the beginning of the month. Tell me when is the new moon. Nowhere you will find in the Jewish literature that the new moon is based on the sun cycle. Nowhere you will find in the Jewish literature that the new moon is based on the stars cycle. It's the moon. So that's why once you know what the moon tells you about the beginning of the month, you know when will be Shabbat. Why? Because it will be based on the halacha 7 days after. And like by Big Hazard, from a new moon to 7 days after, you arrive to what we call a quarter of moon. After you have Eruvin. What is Eruvin? Know exactly when you will have to create a space to protect the community not to go outside of an area where we know that the bad spirits can attack. That's why we have 2,000 miles square to surround, to protect, and we even know how to do it by ourselves every single Erev Shabbat. Ari Kadosh said, if you don't do your own Eruv, Shitufei Mevot, and Eruv Chatzerot, every single Shabbat, your Shabbat is not a Shabbat. When do we know when to do the Eruv? Based on the moon. Because after 7 days, I have a quarter moon. After 7 days, I have a full moon. After 7 days, I have a quarter moon. After 7 days, I have a new moon. So I have always my moon telling me what is the Shabbat. So the first Rashi is telling you that your calendar is wrong. Let's go deeper. Psachim, how do you know the 15th of Nisan? When do you know that the full moon of Nisan is coming? Based on the beginning of the moon. Shkalim, when do you know that you have to give the Maratita shekel? When you will see coming the timing of Purim, which is on the 15th of Adar, full moon of Adar. Yom, same thing for Yom Kippur. When do you know what is Yom Kippur? 10 days after the new moon of Tishri. Sukkah, when do you know when it's Sukkot? The full moon of the month of Tishri. Betza, when do you know that you are allowed or not to cook? It's simple. Rabbi Nechuna tells you. What's the difference between normal Shabbat and the Shabbat we call Yom Tov? Big mistake have been made by some rabbis who don't want to study the ancient book of the Anshe Knesset Agdola. Rabbi Nechuna say, what's the big difference between Shabbat and Yom Tov? He say Yom Tov is a Shabbat where and when cooking is permitted. That's it. It's written. I can send to you the picture of the text. Let's see it together. Let's see it together. Let's see it together. Look what he's saying. Always have Rabbi Nechuyah nearby you. He said like this. When you go to Sefer HaKaneh, you try to see Ilchot Pesach. I'll share the picture. One second. So just see. It's okay. Here it is. Here's what he's saying. He said, look, dîner Pesach with Bdikat Hametz, the laws of Pesach and verification of if you still have Hametz. He said like this. He said, one second, I just want to plug my computer. So what we say? Look what he said, Rabbi Nechuyah. He said, very simple. He said, וגם אמר ביום ראשון של פסח, it's written the first day of Pesach, Shabbat it's Shabbat. You read with me, you follow with me, Rabbanim?
Yes, Rabbeinu.
תודה רבה. He said, וגם אמר ביום ראשון של פסח, the first day of Pesach, Shabbat it's Shabbat. שנאמר, וביום ראשון מקרא קודש, because it said the first day will be called קודש, כי במקום שהמלאכה כלולה ברחמים, אין לעשות מלאכה. He give a code based on the wisdom of the Anshe Knesset Agdolah, the sages of the Great Assembly. He say, look, every place you see that the melacha, the task, is mixed with pity, you have to know that melacha is forbidden. You have to know that it's forbidden to cook. Aromezen adin. Melacha, no, melacha, I think it's machal. No, melacha, it's where the task is mixed with the rachamim, you have to know that to do any of the 39 melachot is forbidden because they are the sign of the dinim, rigorous. ובזאת הפך תאכל לחם רק מעשה אכילה שהרי כי כן הפעולות בכנסת ישראל באתי לגניח אותי כלה אכלתי יערי ולא הותר האכילה רק בראשון של פסח ובשביעי ובחג השבועות. He said, look, why he's talking about that? Because he wants to explain to you and to me what is the authentic and original difference between Shabbat and Yom Tov. What you think today is that Yom Tov is the day I celebrate Pesach, I celebrate Sukkot, Shavuot, and Rosh Hashanah, and Shabbat, it's Sunday, it's Saturday. You're wrong. Rabbi Yehuda bring you back to Rashi. Say, remember your Rashi first of all. The first halacha is based on the state of the moon. The state of the moon defines everything for us, including Shabbat. You have to know that every single Chag, the first and the seventh, are called Shabbat. So they are Shabbat. What is the difference that he's trying to explain to us now is why is it permit on that specific day to cook? Is the question. Big mistakes. People think that no, it's permit to cook because it's not Saturday. Please. Are you not enough proud of Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Meir Balanes, Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Kruspedai? Are you not enough proud about the 10 Ahugi Malchut? To think that because it's Sunday, it's Saturday. What do you think? He said, no, look. We know that there is specific Shabbat where it was permitted to cook in order to feed the soul. He said, what are the Shabbat where cook is permitted? This Shabbat, it's what you and me we call Yom Tov. But him, Rabbi Yehuda, he called them Shabbat. He said, here are the Shabbat where it's permitted to cook. He said, look. Velo uta achila, we permit only the cooking on Shabbat when? Rishon shel Pesach, first day of Pesach. Ube Shivi'i, and the seventh day. Ube Chag HaShavuot, you see? Ube Rosh Hashanah. Ube Rishon shel Sukkot, and the first of Sukkot. Ube Chag HaAtzerot, and the seventh of Sukkot. You see? All the Yamim Tovim. You call them Yom Tov. Rabbi Yehuda, it's not Shabbat, where it's permitted to cook, that's it. Don't distinguish Yom Tov and Shabbat, it's the same. That's why in our Siddur, the very specific one with Kavanot, we are not entering in that craziness of saying, no, is it Yom Tov who fall on Shabbat, or is it Rosh Chodesh on Shabbat? This is the craziness that we're going to see today. The consequence of that craziness when you let people play with the calendar with you. It will make your time very difficult. So based on that, what he said, we finish. So it said it was permitted to cook on that Shabbat, specifically only that Shabbat, first of Pesach, last of Pesach, Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, the 2 days, first of Sukkot and the last of Sukkot. Only 7 Shabbatot are allowed for you to cook on that day. That melacha of cooking is permitted because that Shabbatot, they are special. Do you follow?
Yes, Rabbeinu.
Toda Rabba. So let's go back to the text of the Ben Ishchai. He said like this. He said, look, when you know that now, he said, Hashem is asking you to celebrate, to do the Chag. But if you celebrate, he said, you have to do the Chag according to the halachot. Many people will not understand. Ben Ishchai, excuse me, I'm reading your book. I'm interested in halachot, please. Don't tell me, yes, when you do the Hajj, please do it according to the halachot. You say, no, my son, it's more complicated. Because we will have a time where mistakes will be made and people will tell you, accept the mistakes, because when the majority make the mistakes, Hashem will accept. Do you know that statement, right?
Yeah, we are aware of it.
So I have one question. Why Rabbi Shimon cut himself 12 years from the community? Didn't do what the community was doing at that time? Why did Navi say, I'm bored with you, go? Is it the student of the one we know being the pillar of the sages of Israel, the student of Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, of Rabbi Yochanan ben Akane, of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai? Is it that student who said what the majority is doing is considered being the truth? No. Because their students, they brought another thing. They create the term of Yechide Segula. You do according what you understand because your level is too high. We cannot dictate you to do something wrong, Mr. So because you're so high, you are a Yechide Segula. You are someone who is unique. And when some students, they breathe, look, why the Rabbi Shimon, why Rabbi Akiva wasn't doing like that? You are Rabbi Shimon, you are Rabbi Akiva, what do you want to teach to teach to us? No, listen to the student, like we saw in the Ben Ischai. Don't blame, don't mock the chidush of the student, because that can be the door of teshuvah. Where you don't let the student using Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai as a model, Rabbi Akiva as a model, Rabbi Meir as a model, Rabbi Gamliel as a model, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi as a model. Why do you want him to use you as a model? You are not. They are pillars. They have to be the model. That's why we say, try to look like the head of the lions, not like the tails of the fox. So let me go back. Ben Ish Chai said, do it according to the halacha. Even if this will cost you to be called a Yechide Segula, just be enough prepared to make that position clear in the eyes of everybody. Everybody can say, Rabbi Pinchas, we know him, he do his things, let him do. To get that level, it's because I paid the price. When they come to sit with me, to talk with me, they say that I'm not joking with the halachot. We are surgeon of halachot. We don't play games going on internet saying we are doing more than the other or we are more machmir. No, we stay sheket. But if you start to judge us, we show to you that we are the real surgeon of halachot. So believe, they say, Rabbi Pinchas, do your things on your corner, just don't bother our structure. Yes, I have no problem, except for one thing. I have big jealousy for my fellow African brothers and sisters. I cannot look at my parents' eyes and faking that they are doing the right things. I cannot look at my brothers, sisters here and there and just shutting my mouth because, no, it's not my problem. No. I never grew up in that type of egoism. So I will take care of the Africans. I will not bother you things. So let's go back. You have a book from the first Mekubal just after the Knesset Agdola. It was the first Mekubal, Posek Halacha, telling you, look, on Shabbat, you are not allowed to cook except on 7 Shabbatot. And this is called for you now Yom Tov. And the Ben Ish Chai comes after to say, respect the laws of the Chagim. So now you see the problem? Based on that, most of the Chagim, meaning Pesach, are respected because you cannot fake the full moon. We need to see the full moon. You cannot fake a full moon. That's why Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, Pesach, Shavuot will always be at the right time according to the moon. But all the Rashi Chodashim, you even not keep Shabbat on that days. So the first tractate of the first order of the order Moed, you messed up with it. Rosh Chodesh. So you tell me now, based on that Pesuk, you will succeed to celebrate properly Pesach when you mess up with the Rosh Chodesh Nisan? You will tell me that you will celebrate properly Sukkot when you mess up with the Rosh Chodesh Tishri? Let me push the things to the end. That 2 days of Tishri, Rosh Hashanah, Day of Judgment, you agree that they are Shabbat, right? So you enter in the Day of Judgment by transgressing Shabbat. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, Rabbeinu.
You come with your shofar, you come with the white cloth, you say, yeah, I did 1 month of slichot for the Sfaradim. You come and you say, okay, let's start, it's Rosh Hashanah. And in the middle of Rosh Hashanah, you take that fire and you light. You start to smoke. It was only permit ochel nefesh. It was only permit to cook in order to feed your body. And now it become a moment to smoke cigarettes. It become a moment to do over melachot. You mess up everything. Not only you forget that it was Shabbat, but also you forget that the only thing permit was the cooking for your soul. That's it. Where do you brought the cigarette thing? You smoke on Rosh Hashanah. You light the cigarette, you say, I'm doing my Rosh Hashanah. What? You are transgressing Shabbat on the day of Shabbat and you think that your judgment will be sweet? Because people have been brought in that mindset that Rosh Hashanah is not Shabbat, it's Yom Tov, they even don't carry with them that holiness of Shabbat on Rosh Hashanah. Not even on the day of Pesach, not even on the day of Sukkot, except when it falls on your Saturday. So what's happened with that? Let me be focused on the text now. You are lost because without the proper observation of the solemnities, starting from Shabbat, passing by Rosh Chodesh and Pesach and Shavuot and Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot, you cannot be blessed in your incomes. You cannot be blessed in the work of your hands. So we have now 2 categories of victims. The first one that I'm explaining now is all these people. They celebrate, they keep. They are doubly victim. Why? Because in the way, we all know that yes, Jewish people are struggling in terms of finance. The economy of the country of Israel is over. You just finished a COVID and you enter in the war, which will not be over before 2 years. You're killing the economy. How people will survive? People barely have health insurance. You know the situation? But because of a few group of the one who leads and took all the country, we think that the Jewish are rich. But the real Jews, the one who does things for faith, they are suffering. They are suffering. Poverty is strong in Israel. And poverty is strong among the Jewish people. And you want to tell me that Mashiach is in the door? When Mashiach come, everybody is on the top, is in his collection of money, his finance. You think that will be a miracle that million will come with Mashiach? No, it's you to respect your halachot. You want to be blessed in the incomes? You want to be blessed in the works of your hands? Keep the halachot of the Chagim properly. It's written in front of you. This is the first category of victim. The second one, the Bantu Israelite. Where's the calendar? Restore the calendar. Remove everything. Impose you an European calendar. You even don't know what was the solemnities of your ancestors. You see the state of the countries? We are the top rank of poverty. No GDP. No, so some countries will live with $10 for a month. How do you achieve that level? Just change the calendar of people. Some of us are lucky to have grandparents who tell you, like, look, when we were in Congo, Southwest Congo, we knew that according to the phase moon, we don't go to the field. I say, yeah, like this, yes. If the moon is like this, you don't go. Like this, you don't go. Full, you don't go. Like this, don't go. Oh, we don't know it was like this, and this is the way we do our agriculture. You see? The poverty of Africans, the poverty of the Bantu Israelites doesn't come from the economic system that is against them or that is against the area where they have power. The poverty of the Bantu Israelites come from the fact that we have no solemnities. We don't keep anything. We forget everything. We have here and there things to do, but we even don't know how to keep them. The meaningful of Simcha, Sameach, Kodesh, Kiddush, Shechianu. We don't know all these things. That's why you see that the most crazy mindset about poverty is always seen in Africa or among the African Americans. That's it. So the purpose is not to fight the economy system. The purpose is to give back the connection to the solemnities, to the Moadim. Solemnities, it's Moed. Ele Moade Adonai Mikrae Kodesh Asher Tikriotam Bemoadam. You will call them on their time. Which time? Look at the moon. The Ben Ishai say, look, these 5 lines of Ben Ishai are reading them fast. It seems to be easy. It's deep what he's saying to you. He said, look, do the Chagim according to the halacha. You think that he was talking about the way you will keep what you will be the discussion on the table. And no, he's talking about something deeper, much more deeper. So let's go deeper. He said like this. He said, when you will be able to keep that work called solemnities, to celebrate Shabbat, Yom Tov, let's say, special Shabbat, and Rosh Chodesh, you will see that he will bless your incomes, tevuatecha, and he will bless the works of your hands. And most of all, you will see that you will have no worry about the fact that nothing is working or nothing will be used for 1 week. ולכן בעל כוחה תשמור את החג ותקיים אותו כהלכתו. והנה, אנוכי מצווך שתהיה אך שמח, שלא ימשוך היצר את לבבך לעיצבון ברעותך, בטל מעשה כתבואתך ומעשה ידיך. Here is. We all know that we African Americans, we have problem with money. We like it too much. We have to be real. We talk about Jews, but Africans are worst. We know the truth. You can come with a lot of truth, a lot of quality, They will ask you, okay, do you have dollars? If you don't have dollars, African even don't listen to you. How did we achieve that level when we used to have sages in kingdoms? Today, people they create fake church, fake technicians just to make money. They pretend to be pastors, pretend to be prophets, pretend to speak in tongue, just for that. They transform what they call their church in a kind of nightclub, just for that. They have problem. Where does problem come from? It's because that spirituality was brought to us change our connection to the Moadim, change our connection to the moon phases. That's it. And when this is changed, what happened to you? You start to be greedy with money. And not only that, you start to worry a lot about the fact of missing, the fact of that you need more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And he said, that's why the Ben Ish Chai said, look, even if you know that you left your business, you have to be happy because there is something which is played at that moment which is higher than what your eyes are seeing. ולא עוד, אלא שאתה מרבה בהוצאות, כי באמת יברך אדוני אלוהיך בכל זה, ואין אתה מפסיד כלום, לא מחמת אבטלה ולא מחמת ריבוי ההוצאה. So he said, look, normally, if your chag is properly kept, you should never see missings. This is the key here. Don't try to look at the GDP analysis of your countries. No, of Israel, let's say. Look at the situation of people. If they are missing, Ben Ishai is bringing you something simple. It means that the chag were not kept properly. That's it. With a month where you struggle a bit, something wrong with the chag. 2 months, 3 months, your pocket is empty, something wrong with the chag. You're telling me, Rabbi Pinchas, no, I did well the chag. I stopped my work, I bought my best suit, I went to the Bet Knesset, I give tzedakah, I buy the best wine, the best meat, but it's hard. I need 100, I need 10,000, I need 100,000, I need 1 million. It doesn't come. Why? My tzaddik, my rabbi, my tribal chief. Did you knew that your Chagim was supposed to be Shabbat? Did you behave during the Yom Tov like in Shabbat? Or did you permit yourself some transgression? And what is your behavior on Rosh Chodesh? Do you light the candle for Rosh Chodesh like it's written in the Ben Ish Chai Halacha? Do you consider Rosh Chodesh like Shabbat? Or is it a normal day where you have to just remember that, yes, something happened with the moon? If the answer is no, there's no question. You cannot have what you want. You cannot have. If you want to achieve the shefa with the Torah, you have to pass by that. If you don't want the Torah, yes, you can go make a loan and so on. But if you want the shefa of the Torah, the moon phases should be always marked in a specific way. From Rosh Chodesh to Shabbat to Pesach to Shavuot to Sukkot. And he said, when you do that properly, he said, there is no doubt Hashem will bless you totally. Say, there is no doubt you will totally be blessed, fully blessed. So how come all of the people you know, I will not quote names, they are broken? but at the same time, they have a high level of faith because the energy is sent in the wrong place, the wrong day, the wrong way. And like I learned from my masters, do your best to be Yehide Sigula. It means that study like never and know exactly what is the proper way to do things. And don't be influenced by the masses. If the masses is wrong, don't go with the wrong people. Because the halakha is you have to do the avodah, the work, like it was asked. Like the halakha. So the halakha is not about seeing what someone is interpreting. The halakha is got the book, the root book, and study from there. And after he said, now we have the topic say, הנה, מן המצווה הזאת שהוצחה הכתוב לצוות אותנו בשמחה ובפרטות, ומזה נודע כמה חביבה השמחה לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא, וכמה חייב האדם להיזהר בה. So it's like this. It's based on that, you have to see that happiness is very important for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But that happiness, many of us, we are mistaken. Some movement in Jewish community, they think that that happiness should be the result of a deep desire of seeing positivity instead of negativity in everything that faces me. Please, this is not a definition here. Look at the pasuk with me. Look at the order of the pasuk. He said 7 days. Let me make it bigger. It says 7 days shalt thou keep a feast unto the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord shall choose. So first of all, you need to be okay with the moon phases, because this is the moon phases that define the fast, the solemnities. Second, because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase. When you do that, incomes goes up. After that, and in all the work of thy hands, every initiative you will have, any project that your hands will touch, will be successful. And only at the end, Liot Ach Sameach, you will be joyful. So please, I have 3 steps before that joy. 3 steps. So you want to tell me that simcha is to be convinced that negativity is not in front of me, and I start to clap my hands and I say, yeah, 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 ha, 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 I laugh and Baruch Hashem, I'm happy? This is wisdom? You have text. Study. There is no happiness before that 4 steps. You need to build that happiness. All the rest, it's fake. It's a dream that is sold to you. And you keep on seeing people think that they are happy, but they are broken in their heart, they are broken in their mind, they are broken in their finance, but they cannot remove themselves from that place because they don't have all the answers. They want to believe in God. And then come the Africans. The Africans, yeah, we always are happy. You are happy? Yeah, look, everything we went through, we are happy. We have the happiness in our blood. This is fake. This is how powerful is the mindset of the one who enslaved you. How powerful is the mind of the one who colonized you? They succeed to make you believe that because your teeth are totally outside, that you surrender the curse that you are sitting on. Happiness is the final state of three things being addition. Observation of the solemnities according to the Torah. You see your incomes are here, and you see that every initiative of your hands, even blessing someone that it will work for him, will work. When you are not in that category, your choice has nothing to do with the Torah's one. It's different not to be sad about what's happening and to be joyful. We think that joy will be built from the psychological mindset. That's why you see people have up and down. One day you will see him making amazing work. He brought so joy. Oh, wow, 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 wow. You just push him a bit with some difficulties. You see where the joy will be. And we African, we think that we are champion, that we are still happy. This is fake. I can even push to say it's assault to be happy when you cannot be sure that tomorrow I will be able to feed my son. This should be able to create revolution instead of you to say, no, how can it be? I cannot feed my son, and I'm laughing in front of that investor come from Israel, that investor come from America. I'm laughing because life is good. I want to show them that we have a strong mindset. Leave it. They give to you a fake medicine in order to keep you far away from the real definition of simcha and the real tools. That's it. He say, happiness is important for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So important. That's why you have to be careful about that. Tell me how you understand it now that you have that definition. He said, you have to be careful about your happiness. What is that carefulness? Be, first of all, very strict about your own calendar. The Torah one, based on Rashi, if you want. Be very strict about your incomes. Make them kosher. Don't steal, don't lie, don't consider yourself like human and the other like animals. Be a man who have consideration for the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and work by respecting the halacha. Don't steal. Don't be greedy. And after the works of your hands, invest yourself for the other people's situation. Talk, help. Like said the Mishnah, make students, teach them, and you will see blessing will come. This is what you should be aware. ואל יאמר האדם מחמת שקיימתי מצוות השם כתיקונה, מה מגיע למצווה יתרון מן השמחה וגירעון מן המצבה. So he said, you should not think like this. Oh, it's crazy. Look, all the sacrifice I've made. What is the interest of that? Except the fact of living that situation. I made the mitzvah. Okay, the salary of that mitzvah is that mitzvah. So what did I earn at all in that situation? He said, look, that mindset, this is why you see many Jews stop to be religious. They don't believe. Let's be real. You know how many, let's take the Society of Israel. You know how many in among the 8 million citizens of Israel, how many are Orthodox religious? Percentage, you know? Among the Jews, I said. Do you have an idea?
I don't have idea if going by what we see on the internet is like about 90 something percent, but we know physically there is not so. The people who think the Orthodox are not Orthodox. So, when I was there on Shabbat, I see people who go to restaurant to buy food, who stay in the restaurant smoking cigarette, and very disheartening coming from Africa to see something like that in Israel.
תודה רבה, Chief Rabbi Kish, for your information. It's known that among the Jewish community inside of Israel, only 20% are Haredim, Orthodox. 20%. Meaning identify like, okay, we want religious state. We're not extreme. We want this. 20%. So you have a shade of 80% being secular. You have much more people who live in the center, Tel Aviv, because they don't want these religious things than people in Jerusalem. So what's happening? What do you sense? We have different way to analyze that numbers. We can even say to the numbers what we want. What I want to tell you that among that 80% of people who become secular or just keep a cultural way to live a Judaism, it's because people, they don't see result. They see that you guys are doing things we don't understand. It doesn't work for me. Say, okay, I live. I'm Jew. I keep my identity. Okay. That's why many people who manage the religion, they were obliged to create that genetic things to keep them in the circle. But people are not convinced anymore. They don't see result. They don't see result. That's why they push that the society should be more secular. But the religious are fighting. They're fighting for what? With which tools? You cannot fight when you're not leading. The leaders of the country are not religious. We don't want religious to be the mainstream. That's why they don't want Africans to come, because they know the Africans, they are more orthodox. That was said to me by people from the Knesset. That's it. Why people with good art, good value, good midot can arrive to the point to say, there's no purpose to keep what you guys are doing because I don't see any change. And they have the right to point that thing. That's why, like I said, we have no choice. Judaism is obliged to change because the 7th of October has revealed more than what we think. Now look, Shalom, Shalom, Rabbi Yochanan. Shalom, Shalom from Los Angeles. Shalom, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom, Rabbi Catherine. Shalom, Shalom, Spoken Truth. A morning prayer for Josh and family. Bezrat Hashem. All the blessing. Bekol Maaseh Adechai. Shalom, Shalom. So let's go back, and we have almost finished. Say like this. He said, that's why you have to be very cautious about that happiness. Because in Eda, he say, look what he say, you have to know. He said that happiness that we are asking you, it's a whole mitzvah itself. Who בהיעדר השמחה יש חסכון המצווה. וכל שכן שיגיע לנזק גדול מן העיצבון, דלחר נחית קרא כן לציוות בפחתות על שמחה לעשות אותה מצווה מפני עצמה, כדי שיהיה אדם מקבל עליו שכר שלם מפני עצמה. So say, look, because of all the situation, the sages were pushed to make that the simcha will be a whole mitzvah among the time of festival. To keep the festival, it's a thing, it's a mitzvah you're doing, but to be happy, to have that simcha, it's also a whole mitzvah. Why? So because the simcha is a full part itself, and is basically the collection of 3 different levels: keeping the chagim, seeing the incomes, and empowering the action of your hands. So when you know that the simcha is a whole mitzvah, open the Shulchan Aruch. When we talk about one mitzvah, it can take 20 pages, 30 pages. So you think that simcha can be summarized in one sentence? Not connected to time, not connected to the holiness of the body, not connected to the holiness of the soul, not connected to the other. No precision about the way, the mindset, the kavanah. Hey, it's a mitzvah. If it's a mitzvah, we have tons of precision to know exactly how to apply it. And today you have one, not one, the first one, the definition of what it is and how you build that frame. And he said, ועל כן תקנו אנשי כנסת הגדולה. That's why the sages of the great assembly, you see, Ben Ish Chai know the references. If you read the Ben Ish Chai and you think that is using the Shulchan Aruch, you have a problem. Ben Ish Chai was aware about all these books. He knew. He said, look what the Anshei Knesset Agdava said. He said, look, he said to you, Birkat Pratiot al Simcha, וכאשר ניזהר, וכאשר נבער בעזרת השם. So he said, they create a specific blessing for the happiness. A specific blessing for the happiness. Like we will explain that we know it's Shecheyanu. I will explain one halacha, you will see. What can we see? Can we say here? He said, look, you see, when you want to drink, to eat, to perform something with the time, we need a blessing. Because what comes after is physical, right? There's no blessing made on something virtual. Even what we saw last week, Birkat Agomel, is based on the fact that you survive being kidnapped, you survive being suffering, you survived going through the sea or the desert, and you basically have came out from a dangerous situation. So the Birkat Agomel is based on reality. Like every blessing in Torah. He said, look what say the sages of the Great Assembly. They said, we have to create a blessing for the happiness. Rabbanim Tzadikim, I'm asking you, happiness is physical? Happiness is physical?
Rabbeinu, happiness it transcends both realms from spirituality. It manifests to the physicality.
How do you see happiness in physicality?
Rabbeinu, physicality, you see it from your actions. First of all, you have lived up to what the halakha said And because you live up to what the halakha said, it radiates in you and comes out, other people will see it. But when you don't live up to the halakha, you cannot fake happiness without the halakha.
Yes, but do I have something in my hands that can prove that happiness is here? Do I have an object, something, material that can say happiness is here?
No, Rabbeinu.
Todaraba. So happiness is not physical. So what did they had in mind, the Anshe Knesset Agdola, to make a blessing on happiness? Ben Israel said they create Shecheyanu for the happiness. Ah, what is happiness? Look, Shecheyanu. 1 second. Birkat Shecheyanu. 1 second, just want to find it. Okay, I got it. Here it is. Let's see. So the Ben Israel said that Shecheyanu has been created for the happiness. But what is your mistake and my mistake? We think that Shecheyanu have been created for a specific moment of the calendar. Am I wrong?
No, Rabbeinu.
Look, what is the blessing of Shecheyanu? Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, Shecheyanu, who has kept us alive, Vekimanu, and has sustained us, Vegiyanu, they has brought us, Lazman Azeh, to this season. To this season. Do you see what is the definition of happiness? This is the blessing for happiness. So let's analyze it together. He said, Shecheyanu. First of all, you have to say Shecheyanu because you have to be alive. What is the connection with being alive and the full moon and the moon? Sorry. Who know the connection between being alive and the moon?
Ask the question again, Rabbi. I missed it.
I said, what is the connection between being alive and the moon?
I mean, I don't know if this is right, Chief Rabbi, but maybe a person could say that, in order to sight the moon, you need witnesses, and maybe in order to know that you're alive, you need witnesses too.
We can go on that logicality, but look what said the sages. They say, look, everyone who says Birkat Levana on its time, meaning straight after Rosh Chodesh. Don't wait 7 days. Do like the Mekubalim. When the Rosh Chodesh is past, even if the moon is very thin like that, you go, you bless. Don't wait for Shabbat. You go, you bless. The sage is the same. Everyone who said the Birkat Levana on its time is sure not to die in that month. You knew that?
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas. I learned it in Botina Kadisha.
That's in the structure of the blessing. You have everything we have been saying for 1 hour and a half. First of all, you have to be connect. You have to be well with the moon. Shecheyanu. So, okay, you are alive, no problem. Veki manu, and has sustained us. What is that sustaining? Very simple. Once you have kept the Chagim, you have incomes and you have the work of your hands being blessed. This is that. And afterwards that, Vegiyanu, you should see the next special Shabbat that you guys call Yom Tov. So to form and to create the blessing before happiness, which is Shecheyanu, you need 3 conditions: to be alive, to be sustaining, and to be brought to that time. This is the bracha of happiness, Shecheyanu. So please, don't think that happiness has been something which has been suddenly brought up in the mindset of the Jew thanks to some Chassidut, please. That Chassidut even don't know what was the understanding of the Anshe Knesset Agdola about what should be happiness. So meaning if you're not alive, if you didn't perform Birkat Levana on its time properly, even if physically you're alive, you can be alive and your soul is not here. First. And second, sustain. Don't fall in that thick theory to say, no, you should be happy with nothing. This was the mindset of the invader. This is the mindset of the minority who are dominant. They want to make you believe that the highest level of happiness is to be happy without anything. Just based on the Shechianu, I just proved to you that the Anshe Knesset Agdola, who had among them the last prophets like Malachi, they said no. A bracha for happiness, I should remind that I should be alive and should be sustained. And we have been taught now that the most powerful man is happy with nothing. Africans have been raised up. No, you should be happy with nothing. Sure, you will have nothing because your calendar have been changed. For sure, you'll have nothing. You will struggle for money because everything you do is based on frustration. Why? Because the energy doesn't go where it should be gone. Shechianu. Don't let people teach you concept that you didn't study it in the Torah. There is no place. Everything is in the Torah. Everything. Everything. If someone tells you, no, it's not written, that's why we went to take it here, he is a liar. Just on your Shechianu, you have a whole limud about what is happiness. All this should be understood by normal Jews, because that type of introduction that we read of the Ben Ish Chai, he was giving it as a public limud to men, women, and children. So at this time, a child of 4-year-old knew exactly what is happiness and what is Shechianu. So Rosh Hashanah is coming, right? And Rosh Hashanah, we say Shechianu, right? What will be your mindset?
Happiness and sustenance.
Toda Rabba. But I have one question. If Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of the year, which happiness, which sustaining you will take as example to be standing on something concrete to say your Shechianu? Nothing, because the beginning is here. That's why you see that the Torah, Rashi told you, the beginning is on Nisan. So if you did what you should be done since the Rosh Chodesh Nisan, when you arrive Rosh Hashanah, which is one special Shabbat, like we say in Rabbi Nechunya, you have Shechianu. Yeah, I'm alive. You have sustained. Yeah, yes, since Nisan, I saw miracle. I saw what's happened. Yeah, I'm happy. When you say Shechianu, it's not to bless the day. No. It's to bless the happiness you have to enter with in the Chagim. So this is the answer to the question we asked at the beginning, to the research we wanted to see at the beginning about how come the absence of solemnities make time extremely difficult for the Bantu Israelites. Because definition of happiness, calendar, and connection to the moon have been totally changed. And that is even not going on with the words of Rashi, Zatzal. To finish, let's see one halacha. Like this, maybe you'll have the desire to read the Ben Ishchai's halachot. Halacha Aleph. Amar Chachamim, the sages have said, Kane o asa malvushim chadashim. You have bought or you have create new clothing. Mevarer Shechianu. You say Shechianu because it's solid. You buy something new, you are happy. You have some money that help you to feed your kids, to feed the house, and to buy and not to be hunger. Okay, be happy. Because you are happy about that. ולכן מברך להשם יתברך על אשר זכו לשמחה זו. So when you will be blessing Shechianu, how do you proceed? Very simple. You get your clothes, your new clothing. Before you put them on you, you say that blessing with the clothing in your hands. That will remove all the negativity connected to that fabric, to that clothing that you don't know where it's come from, who have sewed it, and what type of chemical things have been put inside to create that color and so on. And finish, I said, וגם כי משורת הדין הוא לברר בעת הקינה או העשייה נהגו העולם. You see? Say because when the clothing has been created, you have some dinim which comes on it. When it's someone touch it, someone create it, העולם לברר בעת שלובשים, לובשם. That's why you have to bless Shechianu when you will put them for the first time. Never buy something new that you put on your skin without Shechianu. Always. You buy a new clothes before you put it for the first time, Shechianu. You have people who want to wash the clothing before. Yes, it's good, but this is physical. Where the Ruchaniut? Shechianu before you put your new clothes. יש אומרים שאם קנה או עשה איזה מלבוש חדש או כשלובשו מברך ברכת מלביש ערומים. You say, look, you have other people say, you have to say מלביש ערומים, no Shechianu. Our position is not to say מלביש ערומים because מלביש ערומים, we talk about the soul there. But you say, Ben Ishchai is Ben Ishchai, is giving you all the positions. הוא באזור שעוזר בו מברר עוזר ישראל בגבורה והכובעה שמשימום בראשו מברר עוזר ישראל בתפארה ויש חולקים סבירה לאו דאין לברך ברכות אלו משום ספק ברכות. So he said, the same people who say you have to put Malbish Haromim, to say Malbish Haromim when you put a new clothes, they say also when you buy a new hat, you say Ter Israel Tifara, and so on. He said, but look, we have a doubt here. There's a safek brachot on this logicality. That's why we don't push people to say that blessing when they buy a hat and so on. We just say שהחיינו. ומכל מקום, טוב ללבושם פעם הראשונה בשרירת ויכוון עליהם ולבשם תכף אחר ברכות השחר ולאו אסר הדעת והפסק בזה יצא ידי חובתו לכולי עלמא, ואם הוא מוכר ללבשם הרביעית יום האח עליהם ברכת הנזכרות בלי שם ומלכות וערעור שם ומלכות בליבו. So he's going to some detail. He said the best way to dress your clothing when they are new is to dress them in the morning, and you can say Shechianu, but if you want to dress them in the night, you said the blessing that without the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the blessing and without is Malchut. It's another topic. So now what's happened here? We see that not only the real definition of happiness connects us to calendar, to incomes, and to success of the work of my hands, but also connect us to the fact that everything new that I will be buy, especially clothing, Shechianu is what makes things basically sweeter. So if Shechianu can make the clothing sweeter, imagine the impact of that Shechianu inside of that special Shabbatot, meaning Rashi Chodashim, Pesach, Tu Shabbat and Pesach, Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, and the Tu Shabbat of Sukkot. So Bezrat Hashem, this is the key. This is what should be the work of all the chief rabbis in Africa. You should be working, investing your time, yourself about making the proper time, because what will judge your work is the fact of seeing your area being blessed. And my job is to give you the keys, how to bring that blessing down. Everybody will be checked, me included. Let's say someone has an area. Let's take an area where we have no one. Let's say we go to Antarctica. Okay, someone is the chief rabbi of Antarctica. If we see in that year war, no success, a lot of death, natural catastrophe, and so on, Rabbanim, even if we are not physically every day together, we all know our Torah. We know that, I should call the chief rabbi of Antarctica, something is wrong there. Shefa has to come down. Well, how come with all these things? If not, that chief rabbi should tell us, no, don't worry. This should happen like that. Why? Because that, and that. Don't worry, I'm handling. So me, I'm checking your area, like I check mine also. When something is wrong in your area, it's mean that, or you are not the leader of the place, that should be changed because I know that you being the leader, things going to be well, or you don't have the tools. First tools, even if the masses are doing something, you are not here for the masses only. You are here to feed the masses. So to feed them, you should always have at least, till the day we'll have our own area, big country, and so on, at least on the moon phases, you have to light your candle. At least, minimum. You light your candle because you want to remember the mindset of the Anshe Knesset Agdola, your fathers. Baruch Adonai Leolam. אמן ואמן. תודה רבה רבנים,
Yeah, man.
צדיקים, תודה רבה.
Amen, amen.
אמן, תודה רבה לכולם. Rabbi Yochanan, you have a question? I see water with a question mark. Ezrat Hashem, let me know if you have a question.
Rabbi, why he's writing the chief rabbi? Why he's writing this question?
Yeah.
The last point you made on the candle in the Great Assembly. What was the connection with that?
It's like this. When you talk about the candle, right? The Messiah sent. Yeah, it's like this. When you see now the way to Mekadesh, the day of Shabbat, that Kiddush have to be done through two ways. We know that for in a very simple level, based on the mistakes of Chava, we have and Adam, we have three things that should be done to Mekadesh the day, based on the three psukim that Chava have said. The first one is bread have to be on the table. The second one is that candle have to be lighted because she said that this fruit is good for the eyes, and candle to appreciate candle with the eyes. And the last one is with the besamim, to smell something good. Okay. Based on that, the question is, first of all, how many candles should we light? Halacha pshuta, we said you should light shamor vezachor. But when you go now in the word of the Anshik Knesset Agdola, you say no, we should actually light 7, because the purpose of Shabbat is to elevate all the 7 days, all the days basically. So that's why you light 7, and among the 7 you choose 2 that will be the shamor vezachor. Okay. And after he said like this, when it comes about lighting the Shabbat, what basically brings the Kedusha of Shabbat? This is the discussion there. Is the Kedusha of Shabbat being brought by me lighting only, or not, or yes, or let's say like this. Lighting the candles is one of the elements that should be made to make that day Kodesh. Same thing for the bread on the table, and the wine also, sorry. Bread, wine, and candles, and the besamim, it's additional. Yes. It's a bet it's only one of the 3 elements. So what the Anshek Sadulavi had, they say like this, okay. Is the light of Shabbat this candle, is it connected to the light of the 7 days Maaseh Bereshit? Because this is the question. Is it a light that is superior that of what we are used to see? And they say basically, you should not fake situation. If you close your eyes because you succeed to bring down that light of 7 days of Bereshit, kol hakavod. You're not lying. Because if it's the 7 days Bereshit, you cannot stay in front of that light. You will do like this. To be able to do like this, first of all, you have to have wick, to use olive oil, to make the kavanot, to prepare Shabbat since first Tuesday evening with the Chok Israel and so on. There's many things to do with even the kavanot on the clothing and the way the color you dress, many things in order to bring out the light of the 7 days of Bereshit. That is what you're supposed to see when you light the candle of Shabbat. So if you see that, you will be obliged to even bow down. But here, it's even not to try to remember about that minhag when people do that. It's just something which is not even standing in the point of halacha. It's standing in the point of minhag and tradition. Same situation come with, let's take the example of the Chabad. They said, look, we I give not the Nusa Africa, I give what is the discussion among the sages. They say we don't sleep in the sukkah. Why? Say because the Rabbi Lubavitch didn't sleep in the sukkah. So when you go deeper in the question, when you ask the Rabbi Lubavitch why you don't sleep in the sukkah, I say, why when I'm in the sukkah with the schar, I'm seeing the light of Yemei Bereshit. And that light is too strong and it doesn't give me time to rest. That's why I sleep outside of the sukkah. So the reality of the Rabbi is not the reality of the other. The Anshe Knesset Agdolah said you should be sleeping in the sukkah. So you remove that halacha in order to perform something that is not your reality. You have never seen the light of the 7 days Bereshit, so why are you faking closing your eyes? You have never seen the light of 7 days Bereshit in the sukkah. Why are you not sleeping in the sukkah? Do according to the truth of what you are saying. So this is where is authentically based, that's minag. But the only one I know who really do it, they are mikubalim. And when they light, you can even not be in the room. So based on that, it's better to say to people, you are not a Yechidei Segula to reverse the blessing and the action at the level of lighting. If you can show to me that when you light, the 7 days Bereshit light are here, and this will make you blind, yes, no problem. Light, close, and say the bracha after. But here you have all machloket for nothing. It's not even standing on the thing.
תודה רבה.
You're welcome, Rabbeinu. Bezrat Hashem. Shavua Tov Mevorach, and Bezrat Hashem, see you next week. But I will tomorrow or tonight in the committee group, I will ask who want to teach on the 26th of Elul, we said, right? For the special Teshuvah on Elul, we will have a whole day of study. So let me know just what will be the best moment, the best time for you. And if you can send to me the topic or the title of your teachings. תודה רבה רבנים. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Catherine. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Yochanan. What you said? No, it was the answer to the... Oh, yeah, תודה רבה. No problem. Shalom, shalom to all of you, and Shavua Tov, and see you soon. Be'ezrat Hashem. תודה, תודה.
Shabbat tov, Rabbeinu.
Shavua Tov. Bye.
This is history. The chief rabbinate of Africa presents the Siddur Sambatayim. The Siddur, neither Sephardic nor Ashkenazi but Afriki. Reconnect with the pure ancestral traditions of your Bantu Israelite ancestors, with a new sack of tefillah that perfectly combines the halakhot of the Mishnah and the minhagim of the Mekubalim. With the new sack of Friki, live the Black Man Torah. With the first Siddur published and printed in Africa, to grab your Siddur, only one address: Beth Nessa, Bantu Israel Synagogue, Lagos, 27 Canal View Drive, Agokota off Ago Palace Way, Lagos, Nigeria. Mobile number, +2348035382223. Only 35,000 naira. Delivery included.